So let me introduce myself. As I said, I'm Donna Pollender. I'm the Executive Director for the International Fluid Power Society. I've been with IFPS since 2002, and I have been their Executive Director since 2003. A little bit of history about IFPS. We were started in Detroit, Michigan in 1960 by just a small group of professionals, 30 professionals. They were interested in supporting the future of fluid power, the industry, and the ever-changing technologies involved with fluid power. So today, we boast nearly 5,000 members worldwide. So we've certainly come a long way since 1960. And I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about IFPS certification, what we believe IFPS certification can do for individuals and companies, and why it is so important to certify. So let me give you a little overview, okay? Why do companies choose IFPS certification? So IFPS certifies individuals who work for fluid power distributors, manufacturers, OEM, and fluid power end users. And we believe that IFPS benefits these individuals with increased credibility, proof of a fully trained workforce. So, you certify the people who work for you, and it's proof that you've trained them and that you have gotten a third-party independent organization to prove their competency with certification. It gives companies the ability to set standards and to assess the skill level of either current employees or potential employees. And by training individuals, it provides a safer and more efficient workforce. And it can also be used as an effective sales and recruiting tool. I mean, what does it say about your company when you go that extra mile, get your company employees certified, give them the training that they need? It really does say something about your company. So I want to read for you this testimonial by a gentleman named Dan Remmert. He's the manager of fleet services at Ameren in Illinois. Ameren finds excellent value in IFPS certification program. Having a nationally recognized certification for our employees is extremely important to us. All of the programs we offer through third-party vendors, IFPS certifications are some of the best and most rigorous. We know a well-trained, certified technician results in better retention, improved safety, lower costs, and lower vehicle downtime. And I do think that testimonial speaks for itself, especially if you're a manager of a fleet service. Having that lower vehicle downtime is huge. Improved safety, huge. So you could ask yourself, okay, that's why companies choose certification, but why would an individual choose IFPS certification? How can it benefit you or them? We believe that IFPS certification empowers individuals to improve their career path, prove their expertise, not, you're kind of putting your money where your mouth is, right? It offers increased earning potential and also increased earning. We are aware of many companies who offer their employees bonuses or pay raises for getting certified through the IFPS. Pretty obvious that it improves your skills and your knowledge, and in turn, that would add value to your company. So I'm going to read for you a testimonial by an individual on how his IFPS certification helped him. His name is Michael Eisinger, and he is a certified fluid power specialist. And he says, my IFPS certification got me every job I ever applied for. That certification, no doubt, always put my resume on the top of the resume stack. And again, I think that that's a pretty self-explanatory testimonial and good for Michael. So I'm going to give you some information. I'm going to call them certification facts about our program. The first IFPS certification was issued in 1980, and I will say that it did take a little while for the program to get started. So it's probably about 6 or 7 years before we issued more than 100 or so certifications. But boy, after the late 80s, early 90s, our program really took off. And now, today, we have approximately 10,000 active certifications. But since 1980, we have issued over 23,000 certifications. And you might say, okay, well, if you've issued 23,000, why do you only have 10,000 active? And the reason for that is as people retire, leave the industry, or just simply don't renew their certification. There's the difference in the certification. But I will say that, as our name implies, we are international, and that we have given over 1,100 tests outside the U.S. And I'll go into a little bit more detail about how you can take a test outside the United States. The average pass-fail ratio for our exams is 70-30, so 70% of the time people pass our exam and 30% fail. Our certifications are portable and internationally recognized. And some people say, well, what do you mean by portable? And what I mean by portable is the certification is yours and you own it. Even if your company pays for you to get certified, that certification belongs to you, and you can do with it as you wish. If you want to renew it, you can renew it. If you want to let it lapse, you can do that. But it is yours. The company does not own the certification. All of our certifications are psychometrically evaluated to meet defensible standards. So our certifications have been outlined in courts, in lawsuits, and proven to mitigate loss because the company has gone to extent to train their individuals. So we are psychometrically evaluated. Our written tests can be done almost anywhere in the world online. And we have given tests all over the world, in the Middle East, in South America, in Canada, Mexico, all over the world. And so while we may not list a particular area where we do certify, if you live in an area that has a college or a university and you want to take the test, you just contact us and we'll see if we can work it out so that you can go have a proctored environment wherever it is that you are in the world. So which certifications do we offer? So we offer several different, I'll call them levels of certification. It's really your knowledge base, what information you know and what your work requires you to do. So first I'll outline the mechanic and technician certifications. We offer a mobile hydraulic mechanic and technician, industrial hydraulic, and pneumatic. And we also offer a connector and conductor certification, and that's a hose and tube, assembly and hose and tube certification. All of these certifications requires you to take two separate tests, a written test and a hands-on test. And as I mentioned before, our written test can be done anywhere in the world. Our hands-on test can be done anywhere in the world, but the hands-on test must be proctored by one of our authorized proctors. And so these certifications pose a little more of a challenge than the specialist level that don't require the two tests. But we can certainly help you out and get that done for you. So as I mentioned before, we have a specialist level certification. We offer a hydraulic, a pneumatic, and an electronic control specialist certification. And as I said, that requires written test only. We also have some what we call advanced level certifications that don't require a written test per se, but you do need to have some of our certifications. You need to hold them as a prerequisite, and you also need to have some experience in different things, and then you would submit your application along with all of your prerequisites and required information, and the committee will review that. So it requires approval from a committee. And then we also offer our accredited instructor and our authorized job performance proctor certifications. And again, those also, they're not tests, but they do require you to hold a certain number of certifications. And then you also must attend a workshop and be approved by a committee to hold those certifications as well. So we do have what we call advanced level certification. So you can take a number of our certifications to work toward a master level. So hopefully everyone can see this because the font is a little bit small, but you can work towards a Master of Industrial Hydraulics. So you can see on the left going upward, if you hold the connector, a conductor, the Industrial Hydraulic Mechanic, and the Industrial Hydraulic Technician, that gives you that Master of Industrial Hydraulics designation. And again, we can go vertically across. So if you just select the one on the top there, Industrial Hydraulic Technician, Mobile Hydraulic Technician, and Pneumatic Technician, offers you that Master Technician level. And those are for the mechanic and technician certifications, and we also offer a specialist designation. So if you take and pass our hydraulic and our pneumatic specialist, you would be issued the fluid power specialist designation. And there's some obvious benefits to that, what it says about you and your level of knowledge. But also, when it comes to time for you to recertify, only your advanced designations would need to be renewed. So if you hold the hydraulic specialist and the pneumatic specialist, that gives you the certified fluid power specialist, you would only need to renew the specialist level certification, and it would automatically renew your hydraulic and pneumatic. So that does offer a savings. And that works the same for our mechanic and technician level advanced certifications. So I'm going to just give a really quick focus on our specialist level certifications first. As I mentioned, we have a hydraulic, a pneumatic, and an electronic control certification. So all of our specialist level certifications require written test only. As I mentioned, you can do it online or you can take it pen and paper. Each of our specialist certifications are 50 questions. You can bring copywritten bound materials into the test. You may not bring in the study guide, but there are other books and references that are copywritten and bound may be brought into the test, as well as a calculator, an approved calculator. We have a list of those on our website. The specialist requires 70% to pass. Obviously, there are 50 questions. You must answer 35 of those 50 questions correctly in order to pass. We offer a free electronic, a PDF copy of our study manual, or you may purchase for $10 when you register a print copy of the manual. And if you are outside the U.S., you do have to pay shipping to get it to you. The PDF copy is electronically sent. And then we also offer for the hydraulic specialist currently, and I'll go into this in a few minutes, an interactive study manual for purchase, and I'll get into the details of the cost. And also, as I mentioned, the hydraulic specialist is currently available. We're working on the pneumatic specialist and the electronic controls. They're yet to come. So again, some more focus on the hydraulic and the pneumatic specialist level. I'm not going to outline the electronic controls right now, just the hydraulic and the pneumatic. So these certifications require the knowledge of the following competency areas. So you must understand the function of hydraulic or pneumatic components and circuits, be able to analyze loads and motion. You must be able to select components for either a hydraulic or a pneumatic system, analyze and troubleshoot hydraulic or pneumatic systems, and then we do have areas on electro-hydraulic and electro-pneumatic control systems. So you do need to have some knowledge of all of that area in order to pass our exams. So we recently upgraded both the hydraulic and pneumatic specialists within the last year, and I just want to outline for you some of the things that we upgraded when we redid these certifications. So we believe we've simplified the formulas to help you to solve complicated equations, and I've just pulled a little bit of our hydraulic specialist manual out here, a picture of that. So you can see you have the formula for the top one there, gas laws with temperature and pressure. It shows you the actual formula. We show it in US or imperial units, metric units, and if you plug your numbers into that formula, you do the calculation, you will have your answer. And so we've done that for all of the formulas in our hydraulic and pneumatic specialist. We do offer a book. It's called Fluid Power Math for Certification, which lists all of these equations for both the hydraulic, or for all three, the hydraulic specialist, pneumatic specialist, and electronic control specialist. And that book may be brought into the test event. As I mentioned before, you can't bring the study manual, which outlines these formulas, but you may bring the math book. And the math is, I think it's $10 or $11, so it's very inexpensive, definitely worth purchasing if you're preparing for this exam. So again, continuing to outline some of the updates. So we added dual dimensioning in our manuals and on our tests. So you will see imperial as well as metric units throughout the manual, and the test questions may be asked in either metric or imperial. You won't be required to answer in both, but some test questions are in metric and others are imperial units. And so this shows what I mean. As you can see in the background, we list first in metric and then in imperial. And then all of our charts have been upgraded to show both imperial and metric. So that just gives you an idea of what you can expect to see in the manual. Just continuing on, all of our symbology in both of those certifications have been upgraded. We are compliant with ISO 12991 1 and 2. So some of the symbology might look different to you, and that is simply because we are compliant with the newly released ISO 12991 1 and 2, and that's from 2012. We also offer safety and energy tips throughout both manuals, and they're really good little tidbits of information. We have created additional end-of-chapter review questions for you to take, and this really helps you to determine whether you've mastered that chapter's content. You take that review question or 2 or 3 at the end of the chapter, and it kind of helps you to determine whether you've mastered the content. And then we've also written additional pre-tests for each of the certifications. We do offer a free online pre-test for each of them, and I think I'll outline that in a few minutes. So as I mentioned earlier, we do right now offer interactive study manual for the hydraulic specialist. The pneumatic specialist is coming soon. And just to outline what this interactive study manual is about, it is an at-your-own-pace online study manual. So you can go in and come out as much as you want. The schematics are color-coded and animated, and in the next slide I'll show you what I mean by the circuits and the schematics are animated. We have full color graphics in the interactive study manual, but the printed version is in black and white. The PDF version, you will see some color graphics. Chapter review questions, again, as I mentioned earlier, kind of help you to know whether you've mastered the content, but they're fully interactive in the interactive study manual. So you answer the question, you'll know immediately whether you've gotten it right or wrong. If you've gotten the question wrong, it will tell you what the correct answer is and how we got to that correct answer. There's voiceover text for auditory learners. So you can just simply listen if you wish, or you can read along with the voiceover. We do offer 3 additional online pre-tests if you purchase that interactive study manual, and those pre-tests are not available anywhere else except within that interactive study manual. Again, the safety and energy tips are included, and we do offer some additional explanations in the interactive manual that we don't include in the printed manual. So it's very much worth the money if you are preparing for a hydraulic specialist and soon for a pneumatic specialist. So as I mentioned, I was going to show you what I meant by the fully animated, color-coded schematic. So I'm going to play this for you so you can see what I mean. In the interactive study manual, this animation, it has voiceover, and the voiceover explains exactly the operation of the circuit and what's going on and how it works exactly. And these are very popular, and we've gotten a lot of great feedback about how helpful these interactive circuits are. So much so that we are now selling just the circuit animations with outlines on how they work. So again, they're available for purchase. There are, I think, 30 of them in the hydraulic specialist manual. Right now, only the hydraulic specialist is available. You can go to our website. It's $99, and you receive all these animations as well as outlines on how they work for $99. So you can go to our website and find out more information about that. So just a little more information about that. As I said, hydraulic specialist currently available. The pneumatic specialist is slated to be released in October. Once you purchase it, it's immediate. First of all, you purchase it, you immediately have access. You don't have to wait, and it's available for a year. So you can go in and out of it for a year. Again, when you apply for IFPS certification, you are not required to pick a date and time. You have 3 years to take our test. So you can apply for certification, purchase the interactive study manual, go through and determine when you feel like you're ready. You just must give us 30 days notice before you're going to sit for the exam. The cost for the interactive study manual, that this doesn't include certification, is $349. And if your company is going to certify a number of individuals and you want to purchase multiple interactive study manuals, bulk discounts are available. You just need to contact me or contact headquarters, and we'll work that out for you. So that kind of covers our specialist level certifications. I'm going to just give you a quick overview of our mechanic, technician, and connector and conductor certifications. So as I mentioned earlier, I believe the mechanic, technician, and CNC certifications require written tests as well as a job performance test. So the mechanic and technician have the same job performance test. The connector and conductor has its own individual job performance test. So the mechanic, technician, and connector and conductor has 75 written questions. They're all multiple choice. And I should have mentioned that earlier. Our specialist level certifications, 50 questions, all multiple choice. The mechanic, technician, and CNC are 75 questions, all multiple choice. The hands-on portion, or the job performance portion of the test, consists of 6 stations. Again, you can bring copywritten bound materials into the test, except for our study manual. Again, you need a 70% to pass. So because there are 75 questions on the written test, you must answer 52 questions correctly in order to pass. And we, again, offer the free electronic copy of the study manual and the print manual for purchase. Now, we are currently reviewing our mechanic and technician level certifications for upgrade. And we expect them to be, or at least the mechanic level certifications, to be released sometime in 2019, possibly the technicians as well. And we will be working on interactive study manuals for those as well. So the competency areas for these certifications, I've kind of outlined. To the mechanic, performing maintenance, field repairs, shop repairs, troubleshooting, hydraulic or pneumatic systems. For the technicians, just a little more information that you're required to know, identifying hydraulic and pneumatic symbols, statics, pressure forces on fluids, understanding system components, understanding controls, basic understanding of circuits. You don't have to get into any advanced level, and also troubleshooting. Now, for the connector and conductor, it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's a hose, tube, information, understanding. So you need to be able to identify products, the different types of hoses, how they are assembled, how do you select the components to assemble, the procedures for assembly, the operation, how to document, also tube bending and flaring for the connector and conductor. So I went over this a little bit before, but this information to know is about all of our certifications. And as I said a little earlier, once you've registered, you have 3 years to take the test. You are not obligated to pick your date and time when you register, although if you have a time and a date, you may do so. Review training is optional. I get that question a lot. What class do I need to take in order to get certified? You don't have to take any class. You can self-study. You just get the manual, you go through it. If you really feel like you've mastered the manual, then you probably will be successful on the test. I think I mentioned it before, all of our exams are 3 hours in length. So you have 3 hours to take the test, and you can go back and answer and look at, even on the online test, you answer a question, you're not sure about it, you can go back and review all of your questions, all within that 3-hour time frame. All of our certifications are valid for 5 years, at which time, in order to keep it current, you must recertify. It is less expensive to certify as a member. However, as I mentioned in this last bullet, membership is recommended, but it is not required. Another question I get, oh my gosh, if my membership expires, is that going to affect my certification? And it does not affect your certification. So just more general information to know what IFPS offers. As I said, we have the interactive online study manuals. We have on-site certification review training. So we have a technical trainer on our staff, and we can send him to your location to prepare your employees for certification review. And we can customize the classes. It could be 4 days, it could be 2 weeks, it could be whatever you think your employees need to prepare for the certification review. And you can contact me and I can give you more information about that. We offer books and publications to help you prepare for the certification exam, as well as just general hydraulic, pneumatic, electronic controls information, books that we offer. We also offer technical training. As I mentioned, our technical trainer can come out to you and provide you with basic hydraulic or basic pneumatic or whatever it is that you're looking for, hydraulic or pneumatic training. We offer technical workshops. We offer those a number of times throughout the year, but we always offer them in conjunction with our meetings twice a year. We offer online training. So if you want, when we also do customized online training, we offer the canned presentations, but if you're looking for online training for your employees, again, our technical trainer can customize a program for you. And obviously we offer web seminars because you are sitting in on a web seminar. So, you know, I've really simplified the process on how you can get certified. And so really, this is all that you need to do. You have to determine which certification applies to you. And we have a little tool on our website, and we call it the Certification Placement Indicator. It can be found in the Certification tab on our website. You can take a quick, I think it's maybe 10 or 20 question quiz that asks you different questions, and at the end, it will tell you which one of our certifications would be most applicable to you. So that's free. You can do it online at any time, or you may know exactly which certification is applicable to you. So once you determine which, you can determine when or where, or as I said, that TBD is to be determined. You just need to fill out your application. You can find a form online on our website to complete, to register for our test. Must be done 30 days before your test event, at least. I don't recommend you waiting 30 days because the sooner you register, the sooner you'll get your study material. So once you complete the application, you will receive your study material, and obviously you're going to need to study. I will say this, and I've had this conversation many, many times over the past 16 years that I've worked for the organization. I don't care how long you've worked in the industry. I don't care how much experience you have. If you do not prepare for this exam, you are going to have a challenge. And I've talked to all types of people in all different levels. And they do say that the test is rigorous, and it's not what we would call a gimme test. You do need to prepare. So once you study, you take the test, and 70% of the time you get certified. But of course, you can retake the test as many times as you need. We do offer discounts. Once you've taken the test, we offer a discount on the retake for you. So you'll probably want to know what the investment is, and I've just listed a couple of examples here. So for a specialist certification, as I mentioned earlier, it is less expensive for you to certify as a member. So our membership is $75 a year. We also offer a 5-year membership for $325 if you want to go that route. But for this example, a membership would be $75 a year to take a specialist written test. So this is a first-time test. It's $299. So the total would be $374. As a non-member, you would pay $475 and, as I said, $100 savings, and you get all the benefits of being a member. So the other example for the mechanic, technician, and connector and conductor, the membership is $75 for the year. Written test fee is $199, and again, these are the first, not a retake fee, but the original test, $199 for written. For that hands-on job performance test, it's $160. So the total there is $434. If you're a non-member, you pay $554. So you really save there on the mechanic, technician, and CNC test. And my marketing person loves when I break it down. It's only $6 a month. I mean, can you even buy a cup of coffee at Starbucks for $6? You know, there's the question. And I will say this, and I didn't outline it when I was talking about the master level certification. So if you take and pass the hydraulic specialist and the pneumatic specialist, you become a certified fluid power specialist. There is no additional fee to be a specialist. That certification is given to you. So I've had that question a couple of times. Well, does it cost anything to be a master mechanic? And the answer is no, nothing additional. If you pass those 3 exams to become a master mechanic, then that's all you pay. That master level is given to you and there's no additional fee. So we have what we call commitment packages available, and these are primarily for companies that have a number of individuals that they need to certify within their company. So we offer several different levels. So if you have, and the minimum is 10 people. So if you have at least 10 people that you need to get certified, up to 25, you would get the bronze level, from 26 individuals to 39 silver and 40 or more gold. So you can see you get additional discounts for certifying a number of people. And so, yeah, there you go. Even more savings, big savings. Be able to buy 2 cups of coffee. So as I alluded earlier, you must keep your certification current by recertifying. So here's some information. I'm going to give you the 10,000-foot recertification facts information here. I know I mentioned that our certifications are valid for 5 years. So every 5 years, you must recertify in order to keep your certification current. The one caveat that we require is that you remain in the fluid power industry. If you leave the industry and no longer work in fluid power, you are not eligible to recertify. You must complete the recertification application and have ongoing fluid power education. That ongoing fluid power education accrues for you professional development points. And depending on which certification you hold would determine how many professional development points you need in order to recertify. So I have it listed here: mechanics 15, technician 20. The specialist engineer system designer requires you to have 35. And I have there accredited instructors is a whole nother ball of wax, and that is true. It's a very rigorous process for our accredited instructors to recertify, but they also must be able to accrue professional development points, but they also have a lot of other requirements. So what do we mean by ongoing fluid power education? Do we mean you have to go to college? And no, it's not like that. Although if you do take a college course and it is a hydraulics or pneumatics based course, you will accrue professional development points. But primarily what we mean is that, have you sat in on a new product training for hydraulic or pneumatic, or have you gone to a workshop, or whatever training you're getting technically within your company would accrue you points. So each hour that you are trained gets you a certain number of professional development points, and that allows you to recertify. So, you know, again, I gave you the 10,000-foot view. We do have additional information on our website, and we actually did a video on recertifying. So you can, I think maybe 5 or 6 minutes. It's not a long video that you can watch to really give you an idea about recertification. And I'll say this, our recertification prices are pretty inexpensive. If you are a member, and remember the membership is $75, it's $110 to recertify your first certification, $75 to recertify your second, and then $35 for each additional certification that you hold. So again, in my opinion, very inexpensive to keep your certification current. So that's all I have, but I will be happy, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how the heck to unmute everyone to see if anyone has any questions that they might want to ask. Let's see. Del, maybe you might need to help me with this. I think I've unmuted everyone. So does anyone have any questions that I can answer for you? Anything that I didn't cover? Great, perfect. Well, I guess I did my job then and covered everything. But again, if you do have questions, you can always email me. My email address is right there on the screen. You can visit our website at ifps.org or call us. You know, any way that you need to get in touch with us, we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. But thanks everyone for coming and listening in on our presentation, and hopefully we'll see your name on our certified list real soon.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, bye-bye.